Here we go live again. Hi, guys. Hi. So it's midnight on the seventh day of the 70 in 7 days listing challenge. Wow, what a what a long strange trip it's been. I can tell you that my home has totally suffered. um, uh, I I I mean, Glenpa hasn't suffered, but in general, I've got a lot of laundry backed up. I've got, housework backed up and haven't gone grocery shopping yet. I've just been busy, busy, busy. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's been a lot. I had a cluster migraine that just darn near killed me. Well, hello, Janet. Fancy meeting you here too. Card Shop Reality, first in chat. He's got the trophy to prove it. Card Shop, thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for your continued support. Um, I just wanted to do a quick update because the challenge ended at midnight tonight, and it is now 12:07 a.m. If you did the 70 and you haven't had a chance to reach out to me yet, please do so on Instagram. Look up Glama's Closet. It's Glama's Closet 1970 on Instagram. Hey Dodo, how you doing? Dodo, let me know if you made the challenge. Let me know if you hit the 70. I didn't have you on my list. I didn't see anything about that, but I do appreciate the links that you sent me earlier. Oh my goodness, girl, you know what's going to be on Salty Treats next week, honey. Yes, there's definitely some extra salt on Poshmark next week, so stay tuned for that. Their fireside chat. Oh my god, I just wow. That was a if you missed their fireside chat, don't worry, go outside, pour some kerosene in the nearest dumpster that you see, light a match, and pretty much you've got the kind of the general you've got the general gist of it. So yeah, that's fun. Poshmark is always fun. I consider corporate talking heads are a lot like politicians. No matter what comes out of their mouth, it doesn't matter whose side you're on. It doesn't matter if you're for it or against it or whatever. Guaranteed that most of what comes out of their mouth, 95% is BS. Judge Judy used to have a saying called, and she would say, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining." And I honestly feel that way every time every time larger corporations, and now including Poshmark too, are like, hey, we're going to release a new statement and we've got some news for you. And you're like, oh crap, so we're going to get about half of the information and and all the sugar. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I just quit doing what you're doing because it's not working. It really didn't work. Hey Sarah, how you doing? Hi, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming. So we crossed the finish line, and again, if you haven't sent me a note on Instagram, please do so because I need to get an accurate count before we do the drawing. The drawing is at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow night on Friday. Um, oh my God, Chloe, it's been forever. It's been minutes and minutes, and my heart is breaking for the absence of you. Did that come off as sincere? I meant it too. Probably came off as more sincere than that Poshmark fireside chat. Guys, that was just what a crock of hooey. Anyway, we'll come back to that in Salty Treats next week. It looks like these are the people in the drawing that I have so far. Lisa Trekker, she made 70. Cheryl Bajanjum, I think I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. She made 70. Janet Adams with Happy Hour Haulers, she's in the chat, so everybody congratulate her. She made 70, and that was Janet was my boo-boo. Jersey Gypsy Lisa, she made 70, and she was also my boo-boo. you, Jersey Gypsy, Lisa, and Janet Adams were the only people who would complain with me. We were bitching the whole week, though, almost the whole long way. It was just, it was kind of god awful. It was rough for some of us. Now, Chloe with Coverly Chaos, of course, she's like zing, bling, and the next thing you know, she's got 70 listings. She's like, I'm gonna get 70 more, and we're just like, oh my god, child, you have so much energy. I wish I had that. Hello, Lisette. Hi, gorgeous. How you doing? Look at that hair, guys. That she's got the most amazing hair. It's incredible. Congratulations, everyone. I'll do it next time. Yeah, absolutely. Please do. And it's even if you didn't make the 70, I still consider you a winner because, oh my God, my hair is doing this. Anyway, even if you didn't make the 70, I still consider you a winner because, it's a lot. That was a lot of work, and any new listings are going to help catch whatever algorithm these platforms are using. Girl, I was pissed day one and stayed that way all week, but so happy I stuck to it and I needed it. I did too. And I feel very accomplished and good. By the way, your Glamla made 70 as well. I feel very accomplished and good about it tonight. And I also feel like I can maybe take a couple of days off. I have a nephew birthday and a son birthday and a black tie event. And I'm actually going to the mall tomorrow. So it'll be nice to go back to my original mothership. It's a different mall, but it was the one that was closer when I was growing up. So, yeah. Hey, our sales next week are going to boom. That is what I'm counting on. And honestly, they've come kind of booming this week. I've been getting sales on days when I do not normally get sales. Or I'll get like one sale maybe for over 2 days, like a Monday, Tuesday thing. And I have just been knocking them out. I shipped out 10 orders today and I've got 2 more to ship out in the morning. So I'm already seeing the payoff for this. And it's been a good thing. It's just also been a very stressful thing. Next listing challenge, we'll go back down to 50 because wow, this was really, really exhausting. Dodo, you're planning on being done by Saturday. The drawing ended at midnight tonight, so I apologize that you won't be in the drawing, but I am very proud of you. And this was a tough thing to do. No lie. It was a tough thing to do. Cajun Roots reseller, Johnny did it twice. Chloe with Kimberly Chaos, you'll see here in the chat, also did it twice. So they did 140 because extra. They're so extra. So of course they'll have, 2 of those listed in the drawing. So at this point I have 6 people in the drawing. 2 of them are in twice, and please let me know if you have done it and I haven't mentioned your name. And again, I'm going to go down the list. Lisa Trecker, Johnny with Cajun Roots reseller, Chloe with Coberly Chaos, Cheryl Benja Gem, Janet Adams, and Jersey Gypsy Lisa. If you have done that and you haven't heard your name and you did complete your 70 by midnight, could you please send me a message on Instagram, Glamaz Closet, and it's Glamaz Glammaz Closet 1970, and please just let me know that you did that you accomplished that, because that is a really big deal and we want to make sure that you're in the drawing. So the drawing will happen at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday, and that is Friday, April the 29th. And we will be drawing for 2 different gift cards. To be determined, I have to actually go gift card shopping tomorrow. And mail out the gift cards from the bar, which I promise are coming. I just got stamps today, so I'm excited to have those mailed out tomorrow. Finally. I had a 4-year-old wanting to help. Oh yeah, help. I love it when they help. My grandkids are like that too. So of course nothing got done. Amen. That happens. I'm really proud of you guys though. Very, very proud of you guys. And I'm a little proud of me, life happens and craziness happens and headaches and birthdays and all sorts of stuff happen, and still we get our things done. I think it is a testament to the human spirit that we can keep going whenever we want to give up, that we can push past those limits, and that we can push past our anger with Grandma Janet. But that we can push past those, and we can make these goals. My next goal is actually to I was just talking with Chloe about this. My next goal is actually to revamp my entire closet and my inventory system. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of jeans, and I am sick to death of going through jeans one by one and trying to figure out the names. And I've got this system where I take something and I photograph it and I list it, and then I put it into a bin of like items. So I'm like, oh, these are jeans, these are skirts, these are blouses, or whatever. That inventory system is not working for me at all. Chloe sent me a link, and Chloe, if you want to paste that link in the chat, you're more than welcome to, for an inventory system called, hang on, ToteScan. So it's one that she uses, that she swears by, and she's found it to be very helpful. You can go ahead and put that in the chat, Chloe, if you want. So she does ToteScan, and I am considering it. I'm a very analog type of grandma, so I may or may not end up using it, but everything is worth a consideration. Anything that can make your life easier. And I just checked in on Instagram, and it looks like our friend Card Shop was the first thumbs up. So thank you very much again, Brian and Patrick Murphy and all of the comic book community, most of whom don't get into these challenges, most of whom don't list as much because they do a lot of auctions and things like that. They've been so supportive along the way. So thumbs up for them, and thumbs up, Card Shop. Thank you for being in the chat tonight. I have that saved on my Amazon. Is that like on your wish list on Amazon? Chloe said it was like $13-15 or something, but when your budget is tight, you gotta you have to mind every single purchase that you do, and even for your business. So we have a lot that has gone on this week. Let me highlight this really quickly. Grandma, you've had so much life happening. I seriously don't know how you did it all. You're truly a rock star, and did an auction and did these lives. Craziness. You know what? The lives are always my favorite part of the challenges, because I really get to connect with people. I really get to connect with, and late at night, if I do it after midnight, I feel like I can be sort of more relaxed. I mean, I'm never not myself, but more relaxed, and I don't have to put on like 12 layers of drag, which, honey, is a drag. Drag is a drag. I can smoke, which is a stress relief. Happy to supported y'all. You got this. Yeah, we really knocked this out of the park. Dodo, I am proud of you. I am so proud of you for doing this. It's more like my inventory is in 3 places right now. That's true. It's almost like you worked in customer service for 40 years. It's almost like that. Or like if I worked in it for 35, 36 years. Yeah. I really did work in customer service for a very long time. Much longer than most normal sane people do, which should tell you all you need to know about my state of mind, I guess. It's been fun, though. For every awful day in customer service, there were 5 wonderful ones where I felt like I was really helping people and really doing a great things. So, it's not all of customer service is a thankless, awful job. Most of the time I enjoyed my job. I did. I enjoyed myself. You don't spend that many years in any specific industry if you don't really like it and you don't really have kind of a knack for it. And I've always been kind of a people pleaser, so it fulfilled that need for me. 38 years of waiting tables. Oh, Dodo, you have got this down to a science then, baby. I can imagine if I walked into a restaurant, I would hope to God that you would be my server, because I would know that I was getting like top line excellence. I would know that I was getting the best of the best. Had to quit at my best job, worked 3 days a week, paid rent and a car payment. Whoa, wow. Wow. Best job, worked 3 days a week, paid rent and a car payment. See, that's it. It's kind of amazing. I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, if you work hard, you can make lots of money and succeed. Sometimes you work hard and literally it's like rolling a stone uphill. Oh my God, Dee, I waited tables and bartended for 30 years myself. So yeah, it's not one of those things that hopefully you don't get into it to hate it. But if you've done it for, 3 decades or more, you're addicted to the feedback. You get addicted to the wonderful feedback and to the, to the positive energy that you're putting out there. It can be draining, but any job can be draining. It can be tough, but any job can be tough. You can have days where you're yelled at, but you can have any job where you have days where you're yelled at. Even if you own your own business, you can have days where you're yelled at. Andrea Haynes, good morning, baby. How are you? It's good to see you. So that is what has happened. That's our wrap up for the listing challenge. Now I don't know if my new subs are because of the auction or if it's because Johnny and Jennifer put out Johnny and Victoria, Adventures with Victoria, both put out like links to my channel that were like, hey, let's get Glammo to 1,000 subs. I don't know if it's because of that. I don't know if it's because I've been more online because of the listing challenge. So I think it's kind of all of the things coming together at once. But I have gone from 900. When I started this listing challenge, I had less than 900 subs, and now I'm at 922 subscribers on YouTube. What an honor. What an honor. What a big deal. That's a very big deal for me. So to all of you who have been there, and there are some of you who have been there right from the get or right when you discovered me. And man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Don't think I don't. Your time is valuable. And the fact that you're working, the fact that you've stuck with me this long is incredible. And I'm certainly unworthy of it. I loved it. Hated my RA, ended it. I think reselling fees that desire to serve. It does. It does, Janet. I noticed that for myself too. We're for the worst employer ever, and always remember how god awful it was. So I will never put myself there again. Yeah, sometimes people have bad bosses. I've had to walk away from a job where the boss was just. I don't know if it's a bad boss or if it's just if it was just a personality conflict with someone who is in a position of authority. But it just sometimes you got to walk away, and maybe that's the best solution, and just leave and wish everybody well and just walk. Dodo, mine was my back stenosis from cervical to tail killed me. Dang. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry to hear that. Congrats on the subs. Thanks, Zero. I appreciate it. I'm so sorry. That sucks getting old socks. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Anyone who tells you different is selling you something. I got 9 days leave for a pregnancy. My God. Yeah, no, the FMLA, I think it is, FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, should cover more than that. But yeah, as far as paid leave goes, yeah, they don't have great pregnancy. They don't have great pregnancy leave almost anywhere. Yeah, it does. I was actually born with it. Just took that long for me to take it out. Wow, Dodo. That's a brave move. That's a lot. That's a lot. I am so happy that you're all here. I wasn't going to hang out too late tonight, but I think we'll hang out for just a little bit longer than I had originally anticipated, and maybe chat about something. Y'all want some early salt? Let's do some early salt. This is going to be brought up in my salty treats on my live on Thursday, but it's happening right now. So let's go ahead and just I'm a bull in a china shop when it comes to stuff like this, guys. I'm like, ooh, what's going on there? So let's see. What happened was tonight, Poshmark had a fireside chat. So for all of those of you who sell on Poshmark, and from what I'm seeing, most of you do. I know that Janet does, Janet and Bryn. I know that Andrea does. I think Dodo does. I know Dodo does. She actually saw the chat too, so this will be fun. I know Chloe does for sure. Cyril, I'm pretty sure sells on Posh. Let's see who else might be in the chat. Card Shop doesn't sell on Poshmark, but he is. He's always got his ear to the ground in the reseller community, so he's fun. Yeah, I think Lisette, if you're still in the chat, Lisette, I think sells on Poshmark. I'm not sure. She probably is one of the people who cross posts. Yeah. Let's see. Spill the tea, Grandma girl. The tea is hot. Oh, ouch. Yeah, I'm familiar. I know. Dodo's the one who sent me the link for Tabs McAfee's response to that, which Tabs she's always very insightful. She's always got good information. I'm not on Poshmark, but I'm going to listen in for a little bit more while at the shop late night. Cool. Card Shop, you're about to get an earful. I definitely don't know what you're talking about. What is this postmark? Very funny, Chloe. Andrea, you got an invite, but you didn't care at this point. I got the invite too, and I got to be honest, I had such a headache today after my live. I took to my bed, and again, I've had horrible cluster headaches this week. I've spent so much time looking at fine print and spending on my computer and things like that. So I think I just kind of overdid it. Plus I went through this entire thing where I was obsessed with old episodes of The Love Boat for like 3 days. I could not quit watching them. And that can't be good for your eyesight. Annette, hello. There's some salty drama happening here. Yeah, I do. And I saw the update videos. It was bad. Yeah. Yeah. So Dodo, I watched Tab's video, and Veronica Mitka sent me she sent me like a link for someone on Instagram, and here's the funny part. So it showed a picture, okay, of the two moderators for the fireside chat, the two people who were involved. And I don't remember their names, but there was one lady on the bottom, one lady on the top. So it was like a little sandwich picture, right? There's like a lady on the bottom, a lady on the top. And it showed the pictures as they went along the progression, and they were taking what the person was doing was taking screenshots as they went along. Hey, Raquel, you have 3 more to go. You're going to get till midnight California time. So please make sure that you send me on Instagram. You have half an hour. No, you have an hour and a half to get those 3 done. And I know you can do this, Raquel. I know you can do this. But yeah, if you're on a different time zone, it's midnight your time zone. So yeah, we will. The judges, yeah. We'll allow it. Tracy and Leanne. Okay. The faces that Leanne was trying to not make were very telling. That's what I thought. Okay, so the lady on top pretty much maintained throughout the entire thing, as far as I could see in the pictures. Now, I didn't see the live broadcast, but as far as I could see in the pictures, it was she was trying to maintain. She was fairly cool about it all, although you could sort of see, if you're into micro expressions, you could sort of see that she was getting aggravated. The lady on the bottom started off confident. She started off happy. And then you can actually see like kind of the gradual progression where she was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this sort of, and you could just see the fear. It's like a study in fear development. It's really funny. I shouldn't say that. That's so mean, but it's so, I mean, she was just like, it was like watching like the fear develop in somebody, like when they realize the crowd has totally turned on them. And there was let's see, what did she say? Tracy couldn't hold her life together. Leanne said, I learned how to poker face in business school. Leanne had a pretty good poker face most of the time. Yeah. And and it was like, whoa, crap. And then I watched Tab's sort of reaction to that, right? And Tabs was talking about how she was talking about how they did like a lot of deflection, and they didn't really answer the question. There was no apology for the fact that I've actually had people send me on Instagram the responses that they got from Poshmark when they're like, hey, why are you jacking with the algorithm? And Poshmark's like, no, we're not jacking with the algorithm. You must not be a good seller. And they doubled down on that almost tonight. I mean, they finally admitted that they had been jacking with the algorithm for the past few months, and we're like, yeah, we all knew. Why didn't you admit it? And the fact that we were lied to about it, not surprising to me, because I expect big corporations to lie to me like I expect politicians to lie to me. It just happens, right? But yeah, Chloe, you're right. They pulled the answer the question with the question. And from what I understand, and again, I have to go back and watch this live, but from what I understand, there were a lot of people that were, really seriously affected by this. There are people who have given up their full-time jobs and gone full-time on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and full-time as resellers, that this really affected them. So it's for some people, it really did affect their bottom line and their ability to, put food on their table or pay for gas. And all of those are increasing. They did mention, from what I understand, they did mention inflation, but in sort of a passing thing. So they're like, well, one of the problems is inflation is happening and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but, maybe if you see that inflation is happening or it's about to happen, maybe you don't jack with what already works. Maybe don't mess with that. How about that? Sound like maybe a good idea? Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I know it's an old saying, but if it ain't broke, why are you fixing it? Why are you changing it? And they never really did answer why, the why of what they changed. Let's see. They know app sales are down and their data is bad and sellers aren't happy. The search features suck. I typed in kids' vans and got underwear like the search bar. So, yeah, that's what I understand, is that they actually changed the search features. So it's pulling up, on the one hand, it's pulling up, a lot of people's old stale stock, so they're moving that. So that's, I guess, good. But on a lot of that old stock too, we've already dropped the prices 2 or 3 times. So you're not making as much as you would if you had, the newer listings. Let's see. I feel like it was when your parents said, because I said so. Why? Because I said so. Yes, that's That's very much true, and that's the general consensus across the board that I'm hearing tonight, is that, everybody's like, you didn't answer the question, first of all, and second of all, they got scared and ran off a little early. Like, they were supposed to go a half an hour, I hear, in some areas, or an hour, I hear, in some other areas, but they didn't even go 20 minutes. I mean, they were like, okay, bye. I think they got a little scared, a little overwhelmed. I don't think they were expecting the vitriol that they had created. Um, and the thing is that if you're going to change stuff, just let us know you're going to change stuff. But what they've been doing is they're like, okay, we're putting some people in column A and some people in column B, from what I understand. And I could be reading this wrong, but they're like, we're putting some people in column A, some people in column B. And they were, jacking basically with some people's algorithms and not with others. If somebody's going to experiment on you, you would think that they would at least have the common courtesy to tell you, right? It's like we're back in, Tuskegee and MK Ultra. Well, probably not as serious, but you know what I mean? They're experimenting on you without your permission or your even knowledge. What kind of business does that? Probably more than we think. I wrote down the phrases "find your own truth" and "you do you" that they suggested for if your business is affected and what you end up doing about it. Oh, for God's sake, they actually said that. Find your own truth. How profound, how deep, how stupid. That's so stupid. That is so cliche and dumb. I'm sorry. I'm calling it. I'm salty a little. That's dumb, guys. I'm a grown woman. I am a grown tax-paying citizen, grandma, name it. Why in the world would find your own truth be any sort of satisfaction for me if I were looking for answers as to why you messed with my closet and you messed with my business without even letting me know that it was coming or happening? Why? Why would that be any sort of a thing for me? eBay search has been wackadoodle for like 6 months too. I'm wondering if there's something going on, if Google also is renegotiating some of their contracts with some of these companies, for how they pop up in the search. Also, why was small accounts invented if it was for growth, and why are bigger sellers getting invited if they're performing well? Yeah, yeah. What are they, a bad fortune cookie? They sound like one. I'd like to see if they've got my lucky numbers, Chloe. That's funny. They how do you do something like that that's going to affect people across the board? It's going to affect their bottom line. It's going to affect their money. How in the world can you do that without even going, hey, heads up, this is something that we're trying, just, FYI, since you have a business on here. It seems to me like they're sort of pandering to their stockholders. They went public. I don't think, and again, these are conversations that I've had, one of them very, very, very recently. I think they're pandering to their stockholders, and messing around with things that maybe ain't ought to be messed with. I think that they are putting their fingers in people's pies and not thinking about how that's going to affect their daily lives. And that's a very corporate thing to do, to sort of play with people's economy and their and let's just do that in the middle of in the middle of an inflation crisis. Let's do that in the middle of a tanking economy. Let's do that. That makes sense. Let's mess with people's algorithms a little bit. They did bring up how Google usually likes high grade pics and white backgrounds. Yeah, Is that not the dumbest thing, Dodo? Of course, first of all, we all know that. Anyone who's been selling for more than a day probably already knows this. Second of all, really, because I would say over 50% of my sales, and I have been looking, over 50% of my sales, and probably a much higher percentage, but I've just been looking in the past month, happen not from somebody wandering in off of the interwebs from a Google search. The majority of my sales are happening with Poshmark, other poshers, people who are looking for the same thing I do. So I don't understand why you want to bring up Google. It's again, it's that old politician thing where it's like here's the problem, and they're like, oh, look what's going on over here. Come on. It's almost like they just spent the last 20 minutes and put these girls on Front Street just to BS us, just to feed us a crock of hooey, just to pat us on the heads and insult our intelligences a little bit or a lot. My favorite fortune cookie line is, he who laughs last did not get the joke. It's insightful that you say that right now, Card Shop, because I really honestly think that they did laugh last and they didn't get the joke. They did not get it. They had no idea how to read their room. None. I can tell that by the looks on their faces. I've been in the people business long enough. 2,000 listings, well-known Gene photos. I'm annoyed. As well you should be. Andrea. Clear photos. Yeah, we knew what you meant. It's like all these platforms like eBay, Posh, Etsy, etc. are adopting the Amazon mindset, which is, this is our ballgame and we just let you play, but we really don't care what happens to you. Amen. Amen, sis. Amen. Yeah, very unaware sounds like. Yeah, I'm like, read the room, you idiots. I'm sorry. It's not nice to call people idiots. Read the room, you stupid idiots. It's also not nice to experiment on people's businesses, without their knowledge or consent. We live in an age where consent is so important. Why would you not? Manish was on Bluetooth going, Leanne, deflect. Leanne, to what? I can't, Manish, anything, blame it on global warming. I'm sorry, what? How is that? Do it now. Yeah. Yeah, it's if the shoe fits, absolutely. If the shoe fits, wear it. Is that what I think it is? Oh, yes. Dodo, yeah. I expect this story to have some legs. Oh, it's growing, trust me. And again, it's happening now, so we're going to talk about it now because it's the elephant in the room, right? It's the elephant in the posh room. If the shoe fits, amen. They were guinea pigs and they looked dumb. Well, yeah, now they know how we feel. Girl, you should do a comedy show. Yeah, Chloe actually does a comedy show. She actually does an improv show. She's very, very good at it. Chloe, if you want to put the link in there, you can. It's gonna blow up. Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna be, all they did was give us more fuel to fire and more reason to slam them on social media. Honestly, that's true. And the thing is this, they're not taking into account, there are also some things where, like, the keywords, they're going after the Depop crowd, from what I hear. They're going after, sort of a younger demographic. But they forgot the guy who brought them to the dance. Don't leave your date at the dance, honey, because the people who brought you here, they're still invested. They're still buying. Most of what I buy is on Poshmark, as far as clothing is concerned and things like that. And many poshers they will shop Poshmark before they shop retail, or before they'll shop another platform if they are in need of something. Here's an example. My grandson's birthday, there was a specific type of clothing that he was looking for, and it's very, very hard to find. Very hard to find. If you don't go to their exact website where they overcharge 3, 4, 5 times as much, you almost cannot find it. I looked on eBay first because I thought, well, it's probably going to be harder to find on Posh because it was a kid's thing. Did not find it on eBay. I went to Poshmark. It was there. I picked up the exact thing that I needed in his size, and it was the only one of its kind, and I bought it. And it's kind of like that, where Poshmark, people who sell on Poshmark also shop on Poshmark. And so they're not only screwing their sellers, they're screwing their buyers. They're screwing a lot of their buyers too. Left the study guide at home. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yes. The Improv Revolution next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Everybody take a look. That's my baby girl. Well, I joined Whatnot now. Seriously, though, stuff sells cheaper over there. Yes, it does. But there's also, I don't know. Let me know what Whatnot takes off the top. Let me know if they take 20% off the top like Poshmark does. I'd be interested to see what they're selling. Dodo, thank you. Thank you. My biggest problem with Posh is that you can't shop unless you know what you're looking for. I also joined Whatnot. Yeah. They were, well, and part of what I've seen, some of the rants were, that with Poshmark changing the algorithm, that people would put in keywords that they could count on, right? So like if many of us know what we want. I know that I want a black dress in a certain size with certain types of sleeves and certain types of, whatever. I type that in, and what I get are, shoes and toys and a whole bunch of other crap mixed in. I'm like, what I want to see is not that. What I want to see is what I want to see, right? And if you're fashion aware enough to type that in, if you're shopping for what you want, most women over the age of, most women know what they want when they go looking for it. We know exactly what we want. We know what looks good on us. We know what brands we like. We know what we're willing to pay. We know what our size is. We know, what runs in what size, and some sizes are different. We know. And the problem is that, when you do that thing where I type in something and I can't get what I'm looking for, or you mishmash what I'm looking for, now you're jacking with me as a buyer. Now you're messing with the buyer. You're messing with the buyer. Why would you do that? Why would you do that if you have a selling platform? Why would you do that? I don't understand it. I don't. Let's see, 8%, but if it is under $2.50, a 30-cent fee plus, so it's like 45%. Just kickstarted my Shopify, and I'm going to ramp up my Depop and Tradesy even more. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. There's a lot of information here. Okay, flips. People want super cheap. So bins, items, quick flips. Yeah. Awesome, Chloe. Right now I'm using Flip for cross listing, and they don't have those yet. Let's see, I do not. Totally, you should totally check out Vendoo. Honestly, with Vendoo, that's the one that I myself am considering too. 8% isn't bad at all, though. No, that's not bad at all. I need Tradesy. Yeah, me too. I feel like I should check into Tradesy. There are some other platforms. That's another one of my goals for this summer, is to expand my business into other platforms. And to do that, I need to get my inventory under control, because if I sign up with a cross listing, and that looks like that's probably what's going to happen with Vendoo. If I sign up for a cross listing and I'm paying the money to cross list things, What I want is for everything to have a proper skew before I go into cross listing it, because that's going to be a job. People say summer slowdown though, and last summer I didn't get much of a slowdown. I got to be honest. Now this summer may, God only knows what they're going to be messing with at that point. God only knows what they're going to be playing around with. And I sell mostly on Posh, so this will be interesting. I have a ton of over $50 items. Nice. I made one crazy sale my entire time on there. I only have like 30 listings, and I made a full price sale on some Rag and Bone booties that has just been sitting forever. Both Gymshark and Fashion Nova has started from a Shopify store. Interesting. I did not know that. And that's the thing. I mean, what they're doing is they've gotten too big for their britches, as we say. I know that's taking a very complicated, big, long spiel and narrowing it down to the most basic sort of way of saying it, but they have gotten way too big for their britches. They have grown, I think, faster than they realized. I think that they have not given enough thought before they went public. I think that they definitely did not give it enough thought, and definitely had a lot of very one-sided yes man conversations before they went into this whole algorithm play. And I think the worst thing that you can do as a company is never to have anybody who's on the other side of an issue telling you the real truth. And if you're surrounded by yes men, maybe if the top management is surrounded by yes men, or if they're surrounded by people who are like, yeah, thumbs up, everything's positive and it's great, and nobody ever really going, look, this is what could happen. You need to think about this, and you need to think of how to resolve this issue before it becomes an issue. If you don't have problem solvers on your team, who are willing to go and see 10 steps ahead and play chess with this whole thing, then you're going to end up with situations like tonight, where it was practically a mob scene. And from what I understand, there were pitchforks and torches, and it was a dumpster fire of a live that didn't have to be that. If they would have been honest from the beginning, at least we wouldn't have felt like we were insulted and played with as sellers. And frankly, as a buyer, I just, it goes back to integrity. It lacks integrity to play with people's paychecks like that. And even if you're just, the college student who's selling 2 things from their closet on Poshmark, it just, why would you do that to somebody and not let them know? Why? I don't understand it. Sold my second thing on eBay today. Now I just be able to list more. That's eBay. Still trying to figure out how to get better shipping on eBay, and I think I've figured it out with Pirate Ship, but I haven't put that into use yet. It was pre-owned pitchforks and torches that everyone bought on eBay, not on Poshmark. Yes. Yeah, I just feel like they played with us. And nobody likes to be played with. They insulted our intelligence, and nobody likes to have their intelligence insulted. They messed with our money, and nobody likes to have their money messed with. The question is, personally, have I had any issues with it? Not really, but since they've done this, I've had 2 separate listing challenges. I've added a lot to my closet. I've sort of played with their algorithm. I think as much as they have mine. And again, I'm making last April, I don't have a comparison, really a real comparison, because last April, I wasn't as serious about it. I was listing maybe 5 things a week, you know. I wasn't sharing. I didn't have a bot. I didn't have any of that. A bot, you know, we don't have those really, but you know what I mean. Night's Life. Hello, everybody from the UK. Well, hello, UK. How you doing? You'll find your grandma here chain smoking and just talking smack about Poshmark. Um, Buying space. Good morning. Hello, beautiful. How are you? How are you? Carissa is just one of those really beautiful people that I just love. And I just absolutely adore her. Um, so I've got, I've got some feelings about it. They're personal to me. They're not immediately personal to me, but they are personal to me because it is how do I want to put this? It's affecting people that I really, really deeply care about. It is. There are people who it really is hitting home with them. So I guess the main things, the main takeaways are that we were lied to when they sent out all those little emails that were like, no, we're not messing with the algorithm, and they totally messed with the algorithm. We were lied to. We were also when they finally admitted that they were messing with the algorithm, they BS'd around about it and avoided most of the pointed questions that they didn't want to answer. I am a sunshine in the night. Oh, girl, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not as sunshiny as normal, but we're talking about this Poshmark algorithm thing. So I'm so sorry. We're just getting a little salty treat early, but Poshmark had a thing tonight, and it was something that we really just kind of wanted to talk about. So glad to see you on. You're sunshine in the night. I not as sunny tonight, but yeah, in general. I have a bot, Flip. Is the bot named Flip? Or is that like from Flip? Flip is a platform, I thought, right? Looking forward to see how the Posh stuff plays out over the next week. Yeah. Yeah. Me too. It's interesting. And I did see one person's insight in some of the comments and tabs, because I was like, I'm curious to see what these comments are, like how people are taking this. And there was one person who was like, the thing about Flip does have a bot. Okay, cool. The one thing that they mentioned that a lot of other people didn't mention was that there was sort of a pile-on, and they had legitimate questions that weren't answered because there was so much so much fire in the chat and so much salt in the chat that they couldn't get their real questions answered. I'm not entirely sure that they would have gotten their real questions answered. So far, Poshmark has not been that forthcoming about it. I feel like, in my opinion, so I don't get sued. In my opinion, it's been so far they've been ducking, diving, and dodging all of the main questions that people have been emailing them about. It's also kind of interesting, though, that they went into this. I really think that these people did not do their homework. They did not read the emails that they've been getting, because Andrea Haynes, you are exactly right. They got scared and ran out. I don't think they really have been paying attention to. They have not been taking the temperature of their sellers and buyers. They really haven't. That is my theory as to why those girls went out there like lambs to the slaughter and just wandered out there into traffic and how can you not know people have been making, and Chloe brought this up, people have been making videos about it. People have been shooting them emails about it. People have been posting on Instagram and Facebook and all of the other social media platforms about this exact thing, about this whole, Poshmark and algorithms and not selling. How can you do you live under a rock? To the two ladies who they shoved out front on the stage and said dance, did you live under a rock? Did you not do the homework? Where you're like, I don't need to know what, social media and everybody else are saying about this. I mean, did you really think that you were going to just wander out there and everybody was going to clap and tell you you're fantastic? You really misread the room here, honey. You misread the situation. Sorry, that was mean. Well, she's no longer with us, so I guess. Yeah, Dodo, I saw your email and I saw their response. And I was like, they BS the crap out of it. They actually lied to your face, I feel like. Tell me if I'm wrong about that, but from the email that I saw that you sent and their response, I feel like they just straight up lied. They're like, no, we're not messing with the algorithm. You need to sell more or something. I mean, it was so dumb. And they're like, the economy's tanking. And the thing is that inflation is real and it is true. But Gen Z, millennials, people my age, we love shopping online. That's not changing. And they said, and they also said that well, we did it because retail sales were up. Are you kidding? First of all, you started it at like the end of January. So retail sales would be up because it's Christmas and then post-Christmas shopping where everybody's got gift cards and things like that. Second of all, how far were the retail sales really up year over year? No, they were not. No, they were not. I can tell you that. Yeah, because literally the cost of gas was up, the cost of groceries is up, the cost of rent was up, and electricity and every other thing that you use. The cost of trash pickup was up, for God's sakes. So the fact that they're blaming it on the economy, people are not running to my half empty mall in droves. I can promise you that. I've seen that. It's not like the Target parking lot is overflowing right now. Let's see. I hear they're making way less than shareholders are pushing. And Manish does nothing, and I also hear is starting to lose money. It's possible. And again, I don't want to say for sure that this is what's happening, but yeah, they blamed it on global warming. And inflation should help the resale market because now you can get the things that you want, at a much lower price. Chloe's making predictions, guys. I think it's because 16 to 28 spend the most money shopping to stay on trend. I would wonder about that. They have disposable income, but from someone who is a 22-year-old, that's the thing though, Andrea, we spend way less than the 30 to 50 range because we just have less money. That's the thing. I think, Carissa, I think you're right. People just have way less, and they're just, in general, there is an inflation issue, an inflation crisis, I would almost say, where people are spending less money. And buying less unnecessary things. I think that is going to affect the market. Of course, it is. But I also think that to take a program or a sales model that has been working so far, and to jack with that so that you can hopefully bring in even more money, even more of my money, to make your stockholders happy without having a really great idea of how it's going to work, to play with people's closets and with their businesses without giving them a heads up without getting their consent or even just their knowledge, to lie to them then thereafter about that happening and to pretend that it's not happening and that you're just a bad salesperson. So here's a thought: messing with the algorithm tanks sales and promotes people to start paying for promoted listings. So I wonder if maybe there's something else coming down the pike that we're not seeing. Maybe we're seeing the trees and we need to see the forest. But yeah, Carissa, it does sound like they're panicked. I would say either A, they're panicked, or B, they've got some sort of a long-term vision that they're not sharing with anybody, or they've got some sort of a backroom deal with or backroom changes that they've got coming with like promoted listings and things like that. That's a possibility. That's one that I didn't think about. So that's very insightful, Annette. So Chloe says, whether it be that or something else, something is going on behind the scenes that is either making them money or will in the future. They aren't just flat dumb. I agree. The question is, are you going to continue to insult the intelligence of the sellers and the buyers? Are you going to continue to do that? Are you going to continue to BS us? Because you may, you may gain the brass ring and lose the gold purse that way. So yeah, it could be too that they're setting up for a buyout. We simply do not know. And the fact that they're not sharing any of that with us tells me that they consider us to be stupid children who will just follow along for whatever. I could throw a posh coup. I could see it tanking. Andrea, I'm gonna not put that one up. I tend to agree, but I don't want to put that one up because I don't want you or I to get sued. Say we're all leaving and going to eBay. I've seen that happen on Amazon and eBay, so why not Posh? That is entirely true. No, Manish is an editor, not a businessman. He needs someone else to run the company. He did a great startup. Time to move on. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think that maybe he doesn't have. I think that the smartest leaders know who their strongest assets are, and they put those people in the right place to make the right decisions. And I think that if you're not super duper CEO trained, I think that if you haven't run a business of this size or a publicly owned business before, then I think that you will end up being a leader who is behind the eight ball and reactive to things, and so you end up creating bigger problems like this dumpster fire that we're dealing with now. I think that you end up creating bigger problems than you take something negative and you snowball it because you don't know how to handle it. And I think that you have to have smarter people around you than you are. You do. And you have to have people around you who are willing to tell you no. You absolutely do. If you just have people lining up to kiss your hiney, you're never going to get the truth, and you're never going to have your finger on the pulse of what's actually happening in your business. It's not uncommon in the business world. Most entrepreneurs can't run businesses. That's just the way it works. Well, I think that's why a lot of people like the guys who started Google, or the guys who started Facebook, or the guys who well, I don't know if he's still in control or whatever, but I think a lot of those business people who start up these wonderful platforms end up selling them because it just gets too big for them to handle, and there's too much going on, and they can't balance it, and they don't know how to handle that. And rather than surrounding themselves with super smart, people who have been in the corporate world forever and know kind of what to do about public perception and honesty and things like that, rather than have people like that, they sort of just still they go to the same people who have been doing the same thing all along because that was working. Well, now you have a different business model. Now you have a publicly traded company, and then the expectations are going to be different, and now you have to talk to stockholders and things like that, whereas before it was just your little your fun pond and it's making you tons of money. Tricky, no snoring, not so far, and if it is, it's happening in the other room. But I've been sort of down this Poshmark rabbit hole for a little bit. He cares more about the social media aspect than people with brains. I honestly think that may actually be a legitimate complaint. I can't say for sure. I don't know, I don't pretend to know what people are thinking. But I do think that they have paid a lot of attention to the social aspect of it lately. And I think that has to do with them trying to reach out to the Gen Zs more so than the millennials. The millennials are kind of, they're already on social media. They're already established. They're trying to capture the Gen Zs, is my guess. I am definitely not an entrepreneur personality. I am the guy they would bring in as the COO because they know how to actually lead and manage. And that's the thing. They don't have a chief operations officer that I know of. I haven't personally confirmed that, but I have, from what I understand from my conversations, they do not have a COO, a chief operations officer, and they need, who's taking care of the nuts and bolts of this place? Well, never mind. I'm not going to say who's effing this monkey, but you guys know. Who's running the circus and where did the clowns go? I mean, it's just so, it's just so crazy. Andrea, you think you fall under millennial, right? I'm not Gen Z. I don't know. I'm Gen X. I'm the worst person to ask because I'm not only do I not care, but I'm lazy. It's not that I don't care about you, when you fall under. I just don't care, where the lines are, because we never have, I guess, in my generation. We're like, too many cooks. Yes, that's exactly right. Gen Z is late 90s to 2010ish. So that's, I think, Andrea, you probably would fall under a millennial, but I think they're kind of, I think they're, Dodo, that's my girl. She knows. You just turned 31. Ugh. Aw, honey, you're young and beautiful and you have plenty of wonderful, wonderful years ahead of you. So don't ugh. Trust me, it gets better, and eventually you get to retire and you just, hang out and spend your husband's money. It's fun. You're going to love it. Most of the online upper management people play Ring Around the Rosie, jumping from company to company and wreaking havoc. That is, Annette, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think you did. If they were smart, they would take a company that is working incredibly well and steal their people. Go headhunting, guys. Go headhunting. Starry, I still have a lot of venom from my Amazon business. Honey, we all have venom somewhere. Trust me, it's okay. Let's see. Card Shop, congratulations again to all. We got 70 listings. Thumbs up, y'all. Yeah, I think okay, who was it that just said, oh, it was Raquel Swartz. Raquel, you should, Raquel has 45 minutes until it is midnight on the West Coast. So she had 3 left to go. Raquel, if you're listening, please check in with us and let us know how that's going. But thank you, Card Shop, again. We appreciate your support on that. So yeah, there's a lot of venom in Poshmark too right now. Trust me, it is salty. The ground is salty. Nothing will ever grow there again. Well, You know what I mean? As far as like just, it's just been it's been a really wow, it's been a really interesting night, and I'm going to keep my ear to the ground. We're going to pour the salt back on next Thursday. So if anybody hears anything and they want to, give me some tip offs, please feel free. Dodo is fantastic, and Chloe too, and Veronica. They've all been fantastic about just kind of keeping me updated on what's going on in the world of Poshmark dramas. I'll keep my fingers on the prowl for you all. I know you will, honey. I know you will. Raquel, one more to go. Yes, you can do it. We're cheering you on. We're cheering you to the finish line, baby. You got this. You have got this. Let's see. I'll keep my fingers on the prowl for you all. Please do. Please do. Yeah, it is cool. Thank you. I guess we need to learn not to relive on one platform. Well, and that's the thing. If you've got it depends on how serious your business is. Honestly, if your business is putting food on the table, you're darn skippy. You better not rely on one platform. That one platform goes down and you are screwed. So yeah, if that's actually, if you're paying the bills with your Poshmark money, you girl, I'm just saying, do the thing, do that thing where you cross post. And yeah, it's if that's putting food on the table, probably smartest to cross post. You've got ears everywhere. Me too, because I've got you. Dodo, yes, yeah, cross post. Because cross listing is the only way that you're going to ensure that one platform does not screw you. If one platform, I have to tell you that again, I'm mostly on Poshmark. So if Poshmark shut down tomorrow and all my pictures were lost, I would sell off 90% of my stock, keep about 10% of, and when I say stock, my inventory, keep about 10% of my inventory, and then, start from scratch, just start over and do everything the right way the first time. I think that's what I do. Wow, there are 17 watching. I feel like there's only 5 of us here. There's only 5 of us. Chatting, I think, or 6. Old saying, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." Yeah, that is true. Now, again, Poshmark isn't that's not my bread and butter. It's not. I could quit Poshmark tomorrow. I could quit reselling tomorrow, and we'd be fine. I'm retired, and that's I'm Mrs. Nichols for a living. That's what I do. And so far we're fine. But if my circumstances should change, or if something were to happen where I relied on this money, you're darn skippy, I'd be cross-listed on every single thing that would have me. I really would. Because we all talk. Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm kind of working on, Dodo. That's amazing. Get us all ADHD girls in one room. You're right, Andrea. That's true. That is true. Love Glampaw for that. Yeah, he's like, you're retired now. Do what you like. It was part of our long-term overall goals was for one of us to retire early, and it just so happened that this was yeah, I was the obvious choice. So we were able to do that. We have been incredibly blessed in our lives. Never count on anything, and anything can change at any time. But we actually live quite far below our means, and that helps. So I guess one of the biggest tips that I can give you is live below your means. Live as far below your means as possible. We didn't, change we didn't move to a McMansion whenever we started, building our wealth. We stayed in the same simple little house and just, changed our garage into a bar. so I could have some place where I can actually be inside and warm and smoke. Hey, look at that. We didn't, we didn't upgrade the type of cars that we drive. I still drive a Nissan Rogue. It's a little newer, but it's still a Nissan Rogue. I didn't switch over to like, a Jet or whatever. Um, and yeah, that's kind of what we do. Just trying to figure out what you're recommending. I am recommending that you live as far below your means as possible, without having to sacrifice your overall quality of life. I think that helps. It certainly helps, and then that way too, you can always, use your reselling money to help spoil yourself. Hubby pays the bills, and I make fun money and the money for my medical care for my AS. Yeah. Then go to Vegas and spend it all on Little Shop of Horrors. Well, that's the thing, because when I resell, a lot of my money goes to vacation funds, and it'll go to shopping. Like I just bought my husband a very nice new suit with all the stuff that goes with it, and we were able to go, and it's so that we don't have to. It's to remove any of the stress or the guilt, from spoiling ourselves. Many invisible shy lurkers whom are still very interested in this subject matter. Hello. Okay. Hi, Frugal. Hello, Frugal Comics. So we tend to live below our means, but but long story short, yeah, my circumstance is a little bit different than someone who's feeding a family, and I know people who are having, it's not that it's not that Poshmark is their main bill payer. It's not, but it really, really helps. And they're raising small children, and they've got certain things. I mean, if you want your kids to play soccer, that's expensive. If you want your kids to play anything, that's expensive, really. If you want your kids to have after school stuff, if you want them to, do that, do those sort of things, it's really, it's so helpful. It's so helpful. Okay, so Beverly said, I mean, as far as reselling, what are you recommending? I hear no Poshmark, no eBay, no Amazon. I'm not recommending that you quit reselling, for God's sakes. I'm not saying stay off of Poshmark either. I'm not. I'm saying that if you're a reseller, and if you're beginning the reselling journey, or if you are a reseller long time, and if your means are a way to help pay the bills, then I'm recommending that you cross list to protect yourself from any one platform's algorithm change, or corporate change, or whatever. To protect yourself as much as possible as a reseller, I would recommend that you list across a lot of platforms. That would really be I guess what we're circling around to the main point. And also, we just kind of got together to complain about Poshmark's stupid fireside chat tonight, Beverly. We did that because that fireside chat was stupid. Let's see. I think it's more like all of them. Be on more than one if you have the means to do so. Yeah. Thrifter from the crib. Amen, girl. She said, I'm cheap. I am cheap too, honey. I am cheap too until I'm not. Coco Chanel, I think, said it best. She said, the best things in life are free. The second best things are very expensive. I kind of like that. So yeah, thrift culture is, if I can get it cheap, that's fantastic. If I can't get it cheap, then I'm willing to pay up for it. But let's try to get it cheap first. I always try to get things cheap first. That's how I end up with, Manolo Blahniks and all sorts of stuff in my closet. So let's go. Sorry, what was the fireside chat? Cliff notes. Okay. I'll do the shorter version because I'm getting ready to hop off. It's been an hour now, hour and a half almost. The fireside chat was a thing that Poshmark sent out by invitation to some resellers, where they had a couple of they had at least one of the leadership team and another person who got online to explain um, to Poshmark sellers what has been going on with the Poshmark app. There have been some changes, and they have not really been forthcoming with all of this information, and they're just now sort of dropping the bomb on people, and people are mad, and they were really. It looked like they were surprised by that. So yeah, I would probably say that when this ends, I would go back and just kind of watch the first, not the first maybe 15 minutes, but after that, we sort of switched over, and I would definitely rewatch it because there was a lot of information, and a lot of opinion and a lot of things that we talked about. Raquel is done. Yes. Yeah. And 34 minutes to spare California time, girl. Yes. So Raquel has been entered. Raquel, this is me entering you into the drawing. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of everyone who has done it. I mean, this is a lot to do. I'm going to bed. I am waking up Ryan. Are you talking about Card Shop? Because that's his name. Are you waking up Card Shop? No, you're waking up your husband. Okay, sorry, Beverly. It's a lot. It was a very long rant, and probably I should stop while I'm ahead, and just kind of leave that with you. But we'll have some more. We will have some more of the salt on our salty treats next Thursday. So Raquel, lots of congratulations, lots of love, lots of support. Hey, Hot Mess, how you doing, baby girl? Hi, Amy. Heartland Picker, been lurking. Have a good night. Oh, you too, Heartland? No, my husband's name is Ryan. I women him messing around typing, he said. Hi, Amy. I was just actually getting ready to wrap things up. I'm going to wait another couple of minutes, and then we're going to probably wrap things up. So yeah, Poshmark, definitely a salty treat for this week. And I should have, again, I'm keeping my ear to the ground, and I'm keeping an open mind, and talking with people all throughout the week, and looking at social media posts, and watching different resellers videos on it. I just I'm still wrapping my brain around the whole picture. So I need to I need to really kind of wrap my head around this and see where I stand, because at this point I'm a little upset with Poshmark. I don't think that's going to change, but I think that there may be other things happening that I'm not aware of, or that I start thinking about going, oh, it could actually mean this if they're doing this. So stay tuned, because we will definitely have more salt, and the salt will be definitely extra salty next Thursday. I think eBay just sent me something too, so I gotta have to look into that, because it's like, hey, from eBay we have a different sort of payouts, and I'm like, why? So that's interesting to look at. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. I couldn't have done it without you. Trust me, every single person who hit that 70, every single person, whether you were cheering from the sidelines, whether you were doing it with, whether you crossed the finish line way before me, which happened a lot, every single person who has supported this journey, I could not have done it without you. Congrats again to all who hit 70 thumbs up. Yep, look forward to more fun, salty updates. Girl, well, boy, man, I don't know. Ryan, it's going to get salty. Yeah, I got some I got the same eBay payout email we'll discuss. Yes, definitely. You woke him. You woke him up anyway. Andrea, you crack me up. That's funny. So at this point, I am going to go and get some work done, and just wish everybody the very, very best. If you're still listening and you are in California or Hawaii, if you are on Pacific time, if you're in Washington or Oregon, if you're on Pacific time, you still have another 29 minutes to finish listing. Don't forget to hit me up on Instagram. Let me know that you finished. And I hope everybody has a wonderful night. It was so lovely spending time with you. It always is. And thank you for listening to rant and ranting with me on this whole Poshmark thing. So I absolutely never, ever want any of you to forget Glemma loves you. Thank you so much. Good night.